Hi folks, John with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for checking in. It's a little bit different backdrop than you normally see on my channel. Reason being is that the fire danger is so high down here in SoCal. I do not want to take a chance going out in the woods, messing around and being the cause of a major forest fire. But the show must go on. So recently I had a chance to get a hold of a few items from Condor Tool Knives. Earlier this year, I had a chance to go to SHOT Show. I met with Joe Flowers. He's one of the lead designers over at Condor Tool Knives. It's never a dull moment when Joe and I get together and we're able to shoot a video. I'll leave a link in the video description below. A few of the knives and items that you're going to see today were featured on that video, and Joe will speak about it with a lot more authority and in-depth than I ever could, since he's the designer. But what I wanted to do is get these items out in front of you today, show them to you, and kind of pick your brain on how you would like to see these items reviewed out in a practical setting. And then later on in the video, maybe we'll talk about a giveaway that we'll be doing a little bit later on down the road when I have a chance to review and post a video on these items. So without further ado, here's the 2018 lineup of some of Condor Tool Knives items that they have out. First off, let's talk about the Condor curved tool. Now, this is basically a carving knife for carving bowls and spoons. Joe is a major historian and he loves to recreate period items. Now, the hook knife has been around for a long time, but Joe did a little bit of his take on it. Walnut handles, nice fat palm swell. It's made out of 1075 high carbon steel. The grind is a single bevel and it has a natural finish on there. Blade length is about 2 inches long, and the handle length is a little over 4.5 inches long. And I look forward to maybe carving a Cusco with this. I had a chance to get a hold of some cedar scraps from a fence that was being made, and I think I'm going to laminate those together and just use that as a training aid for carving my first Cusco. And when I do that, we'll video it and I'll bring you along on that. But I'll showcase some photos and some video up close on this. These are commonly known as spoon knives or hook knives. They are a curved carving knife, and it's mostly for carving out hollows in all manner of wood crafting. And I'm not a bushcrafter by any means, but I do love that genre, and I look forward to trying to carve a spoon and a Cusco or a bowl with this. So look for a video on the curved knife coming up soon. Next up is what Joe calls the Indigenous Puukko knives. Now, there's a large one and there's a smaller, if I can get my hands to work, companion knife. And like I said earlier, Joe loves to study history. He also runs a company called Bushcraft Global, and what he does is he takes people down on expeditions down into South America where you immerse yourself into the culture of the indigenous people down there. So I think Joe in his many travels down to South America was influenced a little bit by their designs and the culture when he designed this knife. Now, this knife is made out of 1095 high carbon steel. You folks out there have been asking for it, and Joe has been hearing that, and Condor has been hearing it. So anytime that you leave comments in the comments section below, believe me that somebody from Condor is reading these. Just a beautiful blade. Overall length is about 8.5 inches. Blade length is 3.9 inches. And the handle length is about 4.5 inches long. Has a Scandi grind with a tumble finish, and the handles are made out of walnut, and I really love that recessed wire wrap that is on there. What's also pretty awesome is that the sheaths are handcrafted and they're welted on the inside, so you don't have to worry about cutting through the sheath. And that's one thing about Condor. They just make great leather products. Dangler setup. So if you're looking for a knife to go on your hip, or maybe a neck knife, companion knife, they have a little something for both. Just an awesome looking knife. And I love the attention to detail of the laser cutout on the handles on these two knives. So we're looking at the Indigenous Puukko knives designed by Joe Flowers. Next up is a Matt Graham design. Now, if you follow along on the channel as well, you know that I had a chance to interview Matt Graham at SHOT Show. And Matt Graham talked about all the new designs that were coming out from Condor, and one being the primitive Bushmondo knife. Now, one thing I like about these knives, just look at the sheath. It's just outstanding quality. The fit, the finish, the feel. That's what I love about Condor. Their sheaths, the leatherwork just rocks. Now, Matt shook up this design. It looks a little bit familiar to the primitive bush knife that he designed a few years ago. But Matt decided to do a little bit of a twist on that design. And let's show it to you right now. Let's cut away and we'll do a quick specs rundown, then we'll talk about this. First off, overall length. It is 16 inches long. The blade length is 10 inches long, and it is a spear point design. The handle length is 6 inches long. Now, if you remember that the primitive bush knife had a handle that came out straight, just a straight profile coming right out of the blade, Matt decided to put a little bit of curve on there, a little bit of a radius, to give you a natural feel when you're chopping, so you're not wearing out your wrist, wearing out your forearm, and you can get that nice little pendulum motion going. Matt also thinned up the blade. It's a lot thinner than the original bush knife. He does a lot of hunting, gathering, lifestyle stuff. Also is an accomplished bushcrafter, and I believe that he made a primitive bow out of the Mondo. Also has micarta scales, so if they get a little bit wet, they're going to get a little more grippy, and it just has a nice enough palm swell in there. Hopefully it'll pick it up where it just feels really secure. So if I can, what I'm going to try to do as well is try to source some local wood, and I'm going to try to make an indigenous bow of what the Kumeyaay Indians would have used out here in SoCal. So be on the lookout for a video like that in the coming weeks and months ahead. I just need to do a little bit of research and see what they primarily used for wood for those bows. One thing I like about this knife and this style is this sheath. Condor just does an exceptional job in the craftsmanship of the leather sheaths, and I just like the design. And with the primitive bush knife, it has that leather flap, so you can stick it between your belt, stick it between a wrap around your waist, and it's going to stay secure up against you. Next up is a Joe Flowers design, and it is the Wilderness Survival Shovel. A lot of people may not be aware that Joe loves to four-wheel. He has a Jeep where he lives out there on the East Coast. He likes riding the back roads, exploring, and through all those experiences, he came up with the design for the Wilderness Survival Shovel. Let's do a quick cutaway and we'll run the specs on this. First off, made out of 1045 high carbon steel, has an epoxy black powder coating. The handle is made out of American ash, and it also has a metal cap on the end, just in case you have to maybe apply some force to the end of that shovel handle. And the sheath is a canvas MOLLE compatible sheath. So you had a chance to see all the items that I received from Condor that I'm going to be testing in the upcoming weeks and months ahead. I just have to wait till the fire season quiets down just a little bit before we get out in the woods. But I want to give back to the community. So what we're going to do is we're going to be giving away 2 of these items that we showcased. Actually, 3 of these items that we showcased. First off, I'm going to be doing a giveaway where we give away the Puukkos as a set. So some lucky person will win both of these knives after I've had a chance to review them on the channel. We'll do a giveaway, whoever the winner is, anywhere on the planet. If you can legally own them, right age, all that stuff, check your knife laws first, please. We'll be giving these away. Second, I'll be giving away the Mondo. And same thing with that. It's open up to all subscribers anywhere on planet Earth. Just make sure, like I said earlier, that it's legal wherever you live to own and possess this knife before you enter the giveaway. So with that said, I thank you so much for watching. Leave comments down below on how you would like to see these tools used in a video, and then we're going to do our very best soon as the fire ban lifts and I'm able to get back out in the woods and do what I love, and then we'll be doing the giveaway. So stand by. This is John with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, folks.